Welcome back. This is part 2 in the series and is made for you if you've been looking to grow your e-commerce business. If this is you, this is the most important scaling framework you will ever learn. Every detail from going from 0 to 7 figures and then to multi-8 figures will be broken down in bite-sized action steps using this framework. This will be an ongoing series, so make sure to follow along so you don't miss out on the framework I've used to drive more than 150 million in revenue. So today's video is going to be a more in-depth overview of the validate stage. In future videos, we're going to break down each step, so make sure you stay tuned. The validate phase is about testing your product idea to make sure that people will buy it. Think of it as like a trial run. You start by figuring out what problem your product solves and if it fits with what your brand is all about. If it's a new brand, well, obviously you can wrap your brand around whatever that product is. Then you look into who might want to buy. This is your target audience. You'll create a basic version of your product. We're going to call that the minimum viable product, and a simple website and ads to see how people react. Use tools like Facebook's ad library and AdSpy to check what your competitors are doing and make something similar but better. The goal is to sell enough to prove that your product has a real chance in the market without spending too much money. We want to avoid wasting time and money and energy. So we want to quickly get out these rapid tests, validate whether or not our idea is in line with reality, and if they are, move them to the next stage, which is a launch. So we're already 2 minutes in here, but I am going to take you through the major steps in the validate formula, or the validate framework. So number 1, this is super simple. It's just understand the problem. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? It's always going to be easier to solve a problem and to help somebody correct something that is bothering them in their life, especially if there is pain. So identify the core issues your product solves. The next step, which is less fun unless you're really into this kind of thing, but it's research. If you're lazy or you don't like doing research, you can pay somebody to do the research. But these are the things that I want you to figure out before you jump in. So your target audience, I want to find out who your customers are and what they need. We're going to do competitor research. So we're going to analyze what competitors are doing with tools like Facebook ads, AdSpy, Pippi ads, Big Spy, things like that. Our key focus is going to be on what types of landing pages are working for this audience. What are the top creative styles and what are the angles? And furthermore, what angles are they using to sell the product? Who is the avatar that is keeping these brands sustainable? We want to find out how big the total addressable market is. That's the TAM. So we want to assess the overall market size and potential for your product. So if your product is 65-year-old plus men who live in Canada, your market is very small, and it's going to take a considerable portion of that audience to make your business a success. So you want to pick an audience that is large enough. But we want to evaluate if there's existing demand. So we want to see how many people are currently searching for this product. Are the Google Trends saying that this is like moving up, or is it tapering down? This is important because we need to know whether or not we need to build the demand or capture it. So copywriting insights, this is super important. We want to know, tied to our product, what are our customers' dreams? We want to understand their aspirations related to our product. We want to know their past failures so that we can identify their previous disappointments. We want to know their fears so we can learn about the fears associated with using our product, the suspicions. We want to discover their doubts and suspicions so we can overcome them. And we want to know who their enemies are so we can throw rocks at them together. The next step is product creation. The first thing is product sourcing. Where are you going to get this product from? Is it from China? Is it from North America? You need to figure that out because you also need to figure out your cost of goods sold. this is how much it costs you to ship your product. This is before advertising or overhead. You need to know this so that you can calculate your margins, so you can figure out what percent, what your gross profit margin is when you make a sale. And then we want to find out what complementary products there are. So if this product goes well, are there other products that we're going to be able to sell to our customers? The next step, once you have all that information, is building a simple website and ad. So that's really take the right copy based on the research you've just done. We want to create a landing page. Again, using that copy, we can look at what our competitors are doing for some themes to see which direction we should be going. And then we need to build some creative assets. So what types of ads are working in this space, and what level of awareness do they currently have? You probably should build out all the different levels of awareness. Next, we want to determine our success criteria. This is so incredibly important. So I like to make this binary. So we need to define the metrics. What are the clear metrics to success? When we started True Earth, I just wanted to sell 100 people a subscription to our laundry detergent product. We wound up selling 1,500. So we over 15x'd what our gate was to move forward with the product. If you make a number and you don't hit it, it's critical that if you can't determine why you didn't hit it and you can't pivot, that you move on, you kill it, move on. You also will probably want to make sure that you're profitable or close to profitable. So you probably want to have a KPI for that as well. And then finally, I'm 2 minutes longer than I wanted to go with this video, but the next step is testing the sale. There's three ways you can test this. So there's dry testing. So that's basically where you set up a page, let people fill out their information, charge them, and then refund their money because you don't have the inventory. It's a little less ethical, but some people do it. Another method is pre-selling. This is where you tell them that they can get the product. There's going to be a bit of a delay, but they're going to get it around XYZ date. You can do that through a direct-to-consumer website, through the website or the web page that you built earlier, or you can use a platform like Kickstarter or Indiegogo. And then there's mock testing, minimum order quantity. So this is when you actually go and buy the smallest amount possible. You then fulfill the product out of your kitchen or out of a 3PL like anybody else would. There's one other way that I didn't list here, and if you're selling a product that already exists on the market and it's generic, which I probably wouldn't do, but if you do, you could go and ship the item via Amazon directly to the customer. So if there's if it's a generic item and the exact same item exists on Amazon, mark it up higher than what you'd pay on Amazon, try to sell it with your copy, and then use your Prime account and ship it to them. Again, I don't recommend doing that, but that's a way that some people do it. Anyways, this video is going way longer than I had anticipated, but stay tuned for the next video. We still have launch, optimize, and scale to go, as well as a couple other bonus ones. I'm also going to go through each of these steps individually with more detail, so you know absolutely everything that you need to do in order to succeed with your e-commerce business. See you in the next video.